welcome back to Pass and Move. And for today's episode in the brilliant Bayer Leverkusen series, we do have, as promised, the game against Borussia Dortmund. Of course, a huge game, very tough opposition. They are top of the league, 22 points to their names, 7 wins, 1 draw, and just a single loss against Wolfsburg as well. As you can see, Bayern Munich have already played their game in hand, so Dortmund will be looking to extend their lead and even open up a bit of a gap between themselves. Köln are playing as well, but it's not none of our concern. The main concern is us in 12th with 12 points in 9 games, 3 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses. So we've definitely improved. Of course, we're away from the bottom of the table. We're not going to be relegated. I can't speak too early, but for now we're not in the relegation zone. It's good to see. We kind of turned into I guess you could just about put us as a mid-table team. But yeah, if we win today's game, 15 points puts us above Augsburg in 9th, and hopefully Gelsenkirchen and Wolfsburg don't do too well themselves as well. But yeah, in terms of what happened since the last episode, we showed you the game against Bayern, and after that I did talk about going on a winning run, and we had that for a little bit there. So we beat Darmstadt 2-0 away from home, and Shakhtar 2-1 in the Champions League. A tough game, but we eventually came out on top, mostly thanks to a Hakan goal in the 80th minute, and as well, of course, the own goal helped too. Augsburg was a simple 1-0 win with Charles getting on the score sheet from a long-range shot, and we had to play them again in the German Cup. We made no mistake to beat them once more to advance into the third round. Against Köln, it was an incredible game, 3-3. We couldn't come away with a result, with the 3 points at least, but we opened the scoring through Paul Dummett in the 16th minute. Charles Aranguiz scored in the 25th, and I thought it was going to be smooth sailing after that, but 2 penalties in the favour of Matthias Lehmann, and he scored both to make it 2-2 at half time. Hakan scored to make it 3-2, and Saleh over there had different plans for us, as I thought we were going to get the 3 points. 2 ridiculous penalties in truth. I think at least one of them were completely unfair, at least what the match engine showed anyways in 3D, but it definitely, at least the first one, didn't look like a penalty at all. But I actually didn't check whether the referee had a poor game or not, but either way, there's just reality of it. We have to deal with it. We got 3-3, so it was we just got a single point, and at home Shakhtar played a very defensive game to hold out after losing against us away from home, so they managed to get a draw in our stadium, and that kind of leaves the Champions League group at least looking like this. So far we're going to be qualifying based on goal difference, but there's still 2 more games to play, and we do have to play Juventus and Club Brugge each. Actually have a quick look at the schedule, because I want to see if we play. We're playing Juventus first. I was going to say if we play Club Brugge first, that'd be even better. So that way we would have our 10 points, and we could be a bit safe and hope that Shakhtar lose to Juventus. But apparently not. We're playing Juventus first, so we'll have to get a draw at least if we want to keep ourselves in contention, and then we have to hope that Juventus beat Shakhtar. We'll see how it goes, but it's very interesting how close this is, and if we get into the next stage of this Champions League, the board will be very happy, because as I said before, reached the group stage was all that was required from us, and so far they're actually happy with our performances. It's good to see. In terms of the first division, it's qualify for Europa League, and we're not too far away from that, but they're kind of disappointed because we are a bit of a mid-table team. Of course, we had a poor performance in at the beginning of the stages of the season. So German Cup third round is going to be against Hoffenheim, but yep, until we reach the semi-final, no necessary reason to show you that. After the third round is the quarter-final, and then semi-final as well, so those draws will be done later on. But first we have to beat Hoffenheim, who themselves are playing, who are currently on 4th, and they're playing quite well this season, of course. So yeah, that's kind of all the updates, but it was good to see us turn around this form into this form, and hopefully we can continue and win today. We beat Bayern Munich last time we faced them up, so if we face Dortmund and beat them as well, that means we can show that we're capable of beating the top dogs in the division, really. And that's kind of it. I think we can finally get into today's game. Alright, so everyone seems to be fit on one level or the other. Tactical familiarity still needs a little bit more work. It's more about mentality than anything else, to be honest. And now tempo and width is accomplished, if not fluid, but mentality is the main issue. Once they get adjusted to mentality, I feel like a lot of things will click as well. I'm not sure if I showed you, but this is the contain tactic that we're working with, and this is the overload tactic as well when we need to score. I didn't realize the overload one was completely wrong, apparently. That explains a couple of things. Alright. Just gonna have to do this quickly. Wing backs on attack. That really explains a lot. I feel like we went on to overload a couple of times and never actually got a result. This way we should be able to turn some games around. Okay, does everything look the same now? Alright, perfect. Yeah, so let's kick off. Let's get the teams warming up. Talk more about, of course, how Dortmund are shaping up at the players they picked, as well as the reasons why we picked our players too. Have some decent players in good form. I think if you saw the very first screen in the video, you could see that Hakan is our top goal scorer for the season. It's good to see a shadow striker our top goal scorer, but I would have loved if one of our strikers would be, in better form. Match analysis says that he can't really separate the two teams. It's going to go down as a draw. We're apparently favourites in terms of the odds, but I think a draw is probably a fair thing to expect. We're in a good form. Dortmund are a good team, and ourselves we're a good team as well. And I think they're away from home, so that gives us a little bit of a advantage. Playing with a 4-2-3-1 as well, more advanced than ourselves, so hopefully we can exploit them in the counter and take advantage of this attacking midfield space here. I'd expect Götze to not have a good game considering Aranguiz and Julian here, I think it is. Should be marking his bit of space there. Weigl and Nuri Sahin, you can maybe expect them to have a bit of a good game because they'll be exploiting this space here. But yeah, Aubameyang, Schürrle, Götze, Dembele, Weigl, Sahin, Guerrero, Papastapalos, I always forget how to say his name, Bata, Piszczek and Burki. One fella on the bench. I think it's kind of a full strength side by the looks of things. Maybe I'm not sure where what's his name's gone. Maybe he's injured. Yeah, Marco Reus, he's just injured. Seven Bender, of course, our Bender's brother. And they sent out a couple of players on loan. Alright, interesting. But yeah, for the most part, for the players that they have available, I'd say it's kind of a first team available for them. We've got Stefan starting. Mehmedi's had a very poor season so far, and even more important reason why we need to invest in the striker department once January comes around, because we need a star striker without a doubt if we want to try and compete. We're going to have Havertz or Kai start in the attacking midfield position. I think Hakan's form has dipped a little bit in comparison to before. Bailey and Bellarabi are going to be the ones who play out wide. Bailey, I think he's been in good form as well. And so long as he performs well, there's no real need to take him off. I think it's also a combination of his first team alternative Volland performing not too well this season as well. So yeah, midfield is kind of sorted as well. Julian's been in ever since overtaking Bender in the defensive midfield position. He's kind of played too well for me to drop him, but I'm sure Bender will be asking for game time soon enough. Dummett is incredible in the left back spot, and Seguin has also been playing really well. Who knew the low knees would be playing with so well, particularly at Seguin as well, because he's not necessarily ready for the division, but he's performing really well. Maybe now he's improved. Alright, so apparently now he's no, actually this isn't the staff member that I trust. Where's he gone? There you go. Yeah, well, he's still suited for second division, but he's still playing really well, so there's no need to take him off. Tar has overtaken Djokovic quite comfortably, to be honest. He's grabbed his opportunity with both hands. His centre-back partner, who I eventually want to become actually a centre-back partner anyways, Tin himself, hasn't really performing well whenever we called upon him, so it's going to be Toprak who partners him. And Leno, of course, a very straightforward choice. So 4-2-3-1 versus 4-2-3-1, and it's all about who can perform better on the day itself. But let's see what the boys could do to keep the winning run going. Actually, not even winning run, it's actually just a run. Alright, so we'll let this little thing play out as I adjust some things. We'll go into extended and show goals. I think that's kind of it. We should be ready. Let's kick off. And it is Leverkusen who get the ball rolling. Question is, we do have a bit of a weakened side. Both our striker and attacking midfielder who are expected to do a lot of legwork in this game. Both players aren't necessarily, or aren't at all actually, first team options. So Hakan is on the bench as well as Mehmedi. If we need them, we can make the change, but I'm not really necessarily reliant on Mehmedi off this he's struggled to adjust to the striker position. I think we'll have to actually sell him because he doesn't fit in the inside forward position. Stefan though, he has an option, he shoots, and I think I would consider that a clear-cut chance. For some reason the game doesn't even consider it a half chance either. But yeah, Stefan should be putting those away, and even more proof that we need a star striker sooner rather than later. Now, the initial thought was to sell Stefan and bring in a striker, a star striker, and but lately, based on form and whatnot, it actually looks more like we have to sell Mehmedi as well. Maybe bring in a youngster who's going to become a deep lying forward. Having said that, Omar Toprak deals really well with the counter there after Paul Dummett loses the ball incredibly poorly, and Dortmund now have a throw-in, and they'll be looking to punish us. Dembele beats his man on Aubameyang. Deal with it initially, but Dembele has another chance and Schürrle puts it away. And that is kind of poor defending from Seguin. I'm not sure if he's a strong header of the ball or not, but he couldn't keep up with his man. I think we dealt with the initial threat quite well. Or Toprak doesn't clear it too well, but I think it kind of someone blocks it there. Having said that, there's another highlight immediately. So do we respond with their goal? The goal of our own. Bailey on the ball for us. Stefan finds Havertz really well. Can he find the through ball? Nope, he takes his man on. Bellarabi. That's as close as we've come so far. Trying to curl it. Took the first time shot really well, but not enough to find the top corner. Kai loses the ball, but his teammate's there to get it. Bellarabi finds Charles. Back to the defensive midfielder. And again, Bellarabi on the ball for us. Takes his man on. Is he going to go all the way? Good ball into the box. Yes, Kai. Schürrle showed him how to finish it, and unfortunately couldn't do the same thing, but definitely a clear-cut chance, and thankfully the game actually considers that one. So far it looks like we're outplaying Dortmund a little bit, but it's only been 15 minutes, and we'll have to do better if we want to turn the score around. Kai getting the book himself as well. Charles does well to intercept. Bellarabi. Safely back to Dummett. Kind of a poor ball forward for Stefan, but having said that, Julian's cleared up the threat quite well, and Stefan can find Kai once more. What can he do here? Poor ball to Stefan. Not good cohesion there. Perhaps it's because both these players haven't really played with each other frequently. Leno mops up and he tries to find one of our players. Stefan does well to win the ball, and Bailey's going to come away with it here. Back to Stefan, he's doing the deep line forward role really well, to be honest. Havertz takes his man on, plays a really good through ball to Bellarabi. Is he going to shoot or is he going to cross? Goes for the cross. Kai. Yes, Kai makes no mistake, and it is 1-1. And we get our finally deserved goal, in truth. We've played quite well, and we just need to add another to take this game away from Dortmund. They are really trying to hit us on the counter, and I think after a while I will switch my tactics around to adjust to that. I think there was a bit of a deflection there, but Kai's shot was definitely going on target anyways, and he does get credited with the goal. Charles, can he put good delivery into the box? Nope, he plays it safely to Seguin, and now we risk being countered. Back to Charles, can he get rid of it before someone intercepts? Yes, he can. Bellarabi, Omar. Back to Bellarabi. Dummett. He takes the shot instead of finding someone. I guess he backed himself, but unfortunately he was directly at the goalkeeper, and Dortmund are safe for now. Alright, we just need to keep things up, and we should get a second goal. Having said that, Dortmund with the goal kick. Omar Toprak rises. Dembele though heads it down to Weigl. Götze shut him down. Dembele on the ball once more. He's proving very dangerous in his early stages. Dummett can't really keep up with him. Götze has got it, and it's just wide. Because Dummett can't keep up with Dembele, one of our defensive midfielders has to come across, and that leaves Götze free, which is exactly what we don't want happening. He's supposed to be their key playmaker. Bellarabi though, he's won it well. Stefan through to Bellarabi. Nope, but instead it's to register Charles. And Julian's with it now, and Dortmund did well to come back really quickly, but through to Stefan, and he scores another. I think definitely based on recent form, I'll have to keep Stefan for a little bit longer, unless we can afford to replace both our strikers. But Stefan's definitely doing the deep line forward role much better than Mehmet is. I've actually even allowed Mehmet to play as a false 9 to try and suit him a bit, and he still hasn't responded with a good performance. But this is a good performance that we're witnessing right here. 2-1. Did I already do the encourage thing? I probably did. But yeah, 2-1 in our favour. And after the poor start, we've come away with another goal here to almost, well, you know, put us on track for 3 points if we can finish off this game. Having said that, poor ball, Nuri Sahin cuts it out, and Guts has got it for his team here. Bellarabi does well to intercept. I'm a huge fan of Bellarabi, to be honest. Bailey, though, on the ball, finds Stefan. What's Stefan going to do here? Through ball to Kai. Can Kai finish to make it 3? No, he can't. And that's where that's exactly why the shadow striker is such an important player in the tactic that we have set up. He has to finish chances like that because he gets beyond the striker, and that's the best thing about the combination between deep lying forward and the shadow striker. Is just the deep lying forward either drags the centre back out of position or he lets him be free to pick out a pass, and the shadow striker either makes himself available for a pass or he goes beyond the deep lying forward and confuses the shadow striker. You know, everyone's looking at each other like who's going to pick him up, and midfielders are trying to occupy Stefan while the shadow striker is going by, and the centre backs are looking at the midfielders for not picking up someone who's running from deep. So the movement is good, and we'll have to capitalise next time. Well, Kai specifically, we'll have to capitalise next time. Charles, though, almost put a decent ball into the box. I feel like that was kind of blocked, but apparently he put a ball into the 6-yard box, and no one really attacked it. Kind of understandable when you're playing a deep line forward on support. Having said that, we've done really well, and I think I can be pleased. I'd love to see more, but I don't feel like I can ask them for more improvement. I feel like they've already done really well, and we should praise that. And hopefully we can keep it up in the second half, which I think I will do. Play a little bit conservatively, look for the overlap, we'll work the ball into the box and dribble less, and that way we should be a bit more solid and compact, and not necessarily play silly balls forward, and we should be, you know, taking less risk with our football, and that way hopefully Dortmund can stop trying to catch us out on the counter. I can expect them to actually be trying to attack right now, but for us, we're leading, no real need to take some serious risk. We can hold off on any stupid football. And Omar does well to find Charles. Through to Stefan. Is he going to find his player? He finds Bellarabi instead of Kai. Bellarabi! Come on. Third clear-cut chance of the game to Dortmund's 1. 2 half chances to Dortmund's 0. 11 shots, 6 on target, 53% possession. And yet it is still 2-1 only. And Dortmund are holding on for their lives here. Kai on the ball. Finds Dummett. Will Dummett play the good ball through to Charles? Almost to... Who is that there anyways? No, him. Or Toprak. I wouldn't expect Toprak to finish that anyways. A highlight goes on though, and Dummett has the ball. Finds Charles, and Charles goes back to Dummett. Julian now on the ball. Back to Toprak, who finds Kai. A little bit too deep for my liking for a shadow striker. Initially loses it, but his centre back covers him well. And Stefan's on the ball for us here. Incredible game for him. Back to Toprak. What can we do? Charles. Stefan once more. Bellarabi. Good ball to Stefan. Stefan plays the safe option, and that's what happens when you do work ball into the box. Kai was almost through. Back with Dummett though, and we're not playing risky football, and that's good to see. Shouldn't give Dortmund any opportunity to counter-attack. Yeah, that's a silly ball through, but Bellarabi does well to win it. Takes his man on, beats him. Can he shoot? Can he finish? Yes, he can, and it's 3-1 to Leverkusen against Dortmund. And Dortmund are going to have to do something kind of special to get a result here. They haven't played well at all, other than the clear-cut chance they've had. 2 shots on target in 54 minutes. Their manager won't be pleased at all. Bellarabi did really well though, created something out of nothing really. Dummett put a silly through ball through, and Bellarabi did well to actually get on it, beat his man, use his strength, and pace as well for that matter. He's had definitely the man of the match. His rating is 9 out of 10, and all credit with him. Alright, 60th minute, we're 2 up. So I think we can afford to rest players who are tired. I'd love to have been 3 up before doing this, but we do need to save our players for some more important fixtures later on, and I feel like Dortmund don't necessarily pose a threat, and we can go into contain if they score 1 more. So we'll take off some tired players. So Dummett's the best out of these little tired players. We'll bring on Wendell for him. Kai is on the yellow, so maybe we can bring on Hakan. who will have a point to prove, and we'll leave that as is. Definitely not 2 defensive substitutions. And yeah, Hakan, after seeing Kai performing the way he has, I mean, I missed it. I want to show you the rating Kai got. I'm not sure if anyone of you saw it, but I didn't necessarily see it. I was looking at other things. Julian though, and will we score a 4th? Stefan does well, shoots from long range, and that goes over the bar. The goalkeeper must be fighting for his life. Alright, yeah, Kai 7 only rating, but he did get a goal. I think he deserves a bit more. Hakan close to scoring from a free kick, and Berkey does well to save. A bit too close for the goalkeeper, but the shot itself was good. Dortmund are struggling to deal with this, and Toprak almost scored, which would have been a lovely header for sure. Alright, 70th minute here, we can start to look to make other changes as well. Who's tired, who's performed well? Got up until Bailey actually. I keep saying Bailly because I'm so used to Manchester United. I think that from here onwards, everyone's tired. I'd rather make substitutions for these 3, but Stefan's the best in form, and I want to keep him in good form. Give him a bit of a rest. A 7.5 rating, goal to his name, and Mehmedi needs to prove that he can perform well. I'm going to actually quickly make a player change role. He doesn't seem to be too suited to the deep line forward role. He doesn't necessarily have any strength. That's why I've switched him to a false 9, because I feel like the physical side of the game wasn't working for him. Like Stefan just showed us how the physical side is so important. So we'll play him as a false 9. It seems to suit him best. Deep line forward. We don't want target man. We don't really want a defensive forward. Plus, he's not really suited for it. It's only complete forward or false 9, and he's suited to false 9 more than anything. He definitely does have the vision and passing for it, so we just need to see him perform well. Comes deep for the ball too. So we'll switch to false 9 and see if Mehmedi can get on the score sheet and make this game really comfortable for us. Substitution not made yet though. Julian finds Sigwin. Bailey. Hakan! Bailey. Oh, come on. And that should have been 4-1 really. Hakan had 2 chances to put himself on the score sheet, and he's definitely fired up after coming off the substitutes bench. Can he put a good ball into the box though? Charles. Castro clears, and that's kind of the sum of it. Some of their performance really. And this closes the points gap to the top. Dortmund was first with 22 points. We beat them. That closes the gap from 10 points to 7 and helps us climb up the table as well as kind of tumble them down. Charles puts a really good through ball to our fullback Sigwin. Can he find someone? Yes, he does. Mehmedi. And that was his chance to seriously turn around his form, and unfortunately he misses it. And Dortmund survive once more. I feel like we're countering better than they are, but this work ball into the box, playing low risk football has suited us a bit. And Hakan finds Bellarabi. What's he going to do this time? Safely back to Julian, and he finds Wendell. Can Wendell put a good ball into the box? He needs to make amends as well. Instead he finds Bertra quite easily, and Dortmund are going to come away with the ball here with no real pressure. Dembele on the ball for his team. Götze really deep, and that's what we like to see. Aubameyang's through though. Can we deal with a threat? It's 6v1. It's done well to keep the ball, and that goes out for a throw-in. And he's had to feed off scraps for his team. Come on, 5 more minutes. Let's finish this off. Alright, good. Alright, there's still about 2 minutes left. Are we going to score? Or Dortmund going to make it nervy for the last few moments of the game? Julian. Mehmedi drops deep well, finds Hakan. Ambitious from Hakan, but does well to win the corner nonetheless. And he's going to put the ball in, so he can still make amends as well. Who's going to score? Will anyone score? Toprak. He's come very close twice this game, and he hasn't managed to get himself on the score sheet, but it's a very accomplished performance from the centre-back. And he's helped keep Dortmund at bay for the majority of the game. I feel like they've hardly put a threat in since they've scored. That's a credit to the players, and the tactics have certainly helped them as well. As we continue to climb the table, which is more important than anything, to be honest, at this stage. Wins are all that matter. Aubameyang tries to ask too much from Götze, and Götze can't answer. Come away with the ball and playing some good football, one-touch passing sort of business. And Bellarabi's does find Mehmedi finally. I was going to say. Good ball to Bailey. Bailey, what's he going to do? Tries to find Bellarabi once more, his wing partner. But instead, Dortmund deal with the threat well, and it's unlikely that anything's going to happen here before the full-time whistle blows. Hakan doesn't even attempt to fight for that ball. Schürrle finds his teammate Rode. Cut out by Tar. He's done well there. Bellarabi safely back to Wendell. No nonsense business, and all the way back to a goalkeeper. Does well to find Hakan in truth, but kinda giving away Hakan there, and he's lucky that the full-time whistle's blown. It's 3-1 for Leverkusen to Dortmund, and they've hardly had a sniff all game, and we did really well to come out with the result that we weren't necessarily favourites for. 4 wins though now, 3 draws and 3 losses, kind of a mid-table form, and that leaves us exactly there in mid-table. Köln, Gelsenkirchen and Wolfsburg are yet to have played, but at least we've closed the gap to the top, and that's all that matters. You have to continue beating teams above us to keep going up. No point, well, obviously there is a point in beating other teams that are below us, but the aim now is to climb the table, and the only way to do that is beat the teams who are above you and keep closing the gap. So we're on 15 points. If we get another 3, we can go up as high as 5th by the next game. And that puts us in Europa League spots, and the boys can continue being happy as we continue in our good form. So Bremen are next, who are in 8th, speaking of, so we can definitely hope to climb up as high as that. Juventus as well, it's going to be a key fixture. Freiburg are going to be should be an easy win. Obviously football's football. Wolfsburg are going to be a bit tough, but considering how they've been performing this season, they've been just about the same as us. But we've turned around our form recently, and they haven't necessarily done the same, so we should be able to beat them, but we are away from home. Mainz, Hoffenheim, maybe we should show you the Hoffenheim game. I think we'll be back just about then. We're supposed to have one more rival. Not facilities, what am I doing? Köln. I guess I should have showed you the Köln game. BMG maybe. Is there any BMG games? No. Alright, but I still think we'll be back just about to the Hoffenheim game. It seems to be one of the ones that are going to be important. And yeah, I think that's kind of it really. I'm assuming we'll be back by then. Maybe the Club Brugge game, for example, if we can show you us qualifying for the Champions League. We haven't showed you any Champions League games except for the Juventus one. Don't want to show Juventus again, but maybe if we get a result here, it can send us into knockout stages, and that would mean that we've exceeded expectations, and it would be interesting to show you some cup competition action as well. So yeah, either Club Brugge or Hoffenheim, depending on how the results are going, which game will be more important, and that's kind of it. I think that'll be all. So yeah, that's all for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, and of course, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always guys, thank you all very much for watching.